This episode is sponsored by the Mick Commitments, the Scottish Saviours of Soul. Hello and welcome back to Film Pro Productivity and Success, the show that helps creative people to live a more focused, I'm getting way off the track on this one, a more focused, effective and happy life. My name is Carter Ferguson and this is episode 160, Unleashing Your Exponential Potential, The Power of U Squared, Part 4. Get uncomfortable. Quantum leaps jerk you out of your comfort zone. Prepare yourself for a pretty wild ride. You're going to cover some unfamiliar terrain and encounter obstacles you've never faced before. It can feel like the safety chain linking you with behaviour patterns that worked in the past is being stretched to the limit. At times you may wonder if your situation is about to spin out of control. The normal reaction is to want to hold on tightly, but you're going to have to learn to let go. U squared is achieved through release. So turn loose if you want to jump. Don't be surprised if you grow uneasy. That's a predictable part of the process. When you take the quantum leap, you ride the situation, but you don't really control it all that much. In fact, the only way that you control it is by 1, knowing where you're going, 2, continuing the pursuit, and 3, learning from your mistakes. A quantum leap is an act of faith, exhilarating and possibly scary at the same time. You have to give up a large degree of security and safety, plough through greater amounts of ambiguity and confusion and uncertainty, wrestle with a totally new set of problems, invite failure, and possibly contend with criticism from other people who have been part of your support group in the past. Make you uncomfortable? That's a good sign. If you're experiencing no anxiety or discomfort, the risk you're taking probably isn't worthy of you. The only risks that aren't a little bit scary are the ones you've outgrown. A high comfort level provides solid evidence that you're playing it safe, not growing, not really testing your limits at all, and not in the process of a quantum leap. You might be making gradual progress, that's possible, but you're not going for a breakthrough. U squared carries you beyond your commonplace everyday habits and calls for a little more nerve. So just go into this expecting a touch of anxiety. Uneasiness is a predictable psychological reaction when a quantum leap is underway. It has been said that if you will do the thing you fear, death of fear is certain. Courage is not the absence of fear and anxiety. It's proceeding in spite of those feelings. So press on. Uneasiness is a predictable psychological reaction when a quantum leap is underway. Open your gifts. You have many gifts that you've never opened. These are gifts of talent, ability, and reach that are yours for the taking. The people we call gifted are different from the crowd in one very special way. They accepted their gifts. They let it happen. The high achievers, the persons you admire, are those individuals who opened their gifts. These winners have more gifts because they claimed them, took them out of the wrapping, and used them. Now it's time for you to do something with your gifts. Claim them, and you create them. Reach for them, and they materialize. Use them, and they grow to serve you better. If you look at those particular skills you have developed over the years, the talents you have exhibited, you will find they are gifts you have opened and enjoyed. But how many others are there within your reach? For every gift you've opened over the years, there are hundreds that you've never unwrapped and taken out of the package. This unused potential hides there, just waiting to play a role in your quantum leap. When you make a quantum leap, you find out many new things about yourself. U squared is a fascinating experience of self-discovery. A transformation occurs, a metamorphosis. Think of a striped caterpillar humbly crawling along the stem of a milkweed plant a few inches from Mother Earth, changing into a strikingly beautiful monarch butterfly that soars high in the air and bravely journeys thousands of miles in its yearly pilgrimage. To become a monarch, to free those shining auburn wings, to fly high and free, the creature must break out of the cocoon of safety and open its gifts. Open some more of yours. Find your wings. If you look at those particular skills you have developed over the years, the talents you have exhibited, you will find they are gifts to be opened and enjoyed. Fall in love. Quantum leaps won't happen if you're living life with a lukewarm heart. Passion is a very important part of the process. It fires the soul and fills the spirit, energizing your heart and mind for the quantum leap to a higher plane of performance. Passion also keeps you going when you're hit with problems and uncertainty. But passion itself must be fueled, and you feed that flame with visions of a dream that is dramatic. The emotional intensity inside must burn hot enough to protect you against the chilling effects of doubt, uncertainty, criticism, and failure. Only deep desire can generate such heat. For you to care this intensely, of course, there must be something worth caring about. Something remarkable, special, and precious enough to light the fire in your heart. This means you must loosen the limits of your thinking and give yourself permission to pursue what you want most. The climate is right for a quantum leap only when you are passionately drawn to a particular goal. So let your deepest desires direct your aim. Set your sights far above the reasonable target. The power of purpose is profound only if you have a desire that stirs the heart. The inner drive must be strong enough to carry you past the point of wishful thinking. The dream must consume you, control you, drive you to action, disallowing half-hearted effort in the pursuit. Quantum leaps are an act of love, a passionate statement of how you care for the thing you seek. Only an emotional move holds the power to carry you the distance from you to you squared. Let the heart take charge of your body. If you have a magnificent obsession, you are poised for a quantum leap. There must be something worth caring about, something remarkable, special, and precious enough to light the fire in your heart. Make your move before you're ready. Don't bog down in getting prepared for this. Whatever else you need will come as you go. A person could make a career out of laying the groundwork to do something really big. Please understand, you don't prepare for a quantum leap. You make it, and then you fine-tune your approach. You go for it instead of forever getting ready so you will be sure to get it right. Zero defects is a hostile concept in the pursuit of U squared. First you act, then you frame out the details of your strategy. Move on your dream, start, and let what happens help you to develop a coherent game plan. Mobility is the crucial element. Strategy formulation then evolves naturally out of your discovery process. You'll discover, once underway, that you know more than you know you know. Just trust your instincts. Once again, a quantum leap is something you are already prepared to do. It's not some absurd, wild-eyed scheme that calls for a fantastic stroke of luck just to have an outside chance of working. It's not an example of your reach exceeding your grasp, and it's most definitely not a matter of going for some grand goal that calls for painstaking preparation. A quantum leap is a move that is yours for the taking. Right now, it represents a giant step you can make merely by deciding to and opening yourself up to the resources presently available to serve you. Getting ready is, quite frankly, a stalling tactic, an act of anxiety, a con game you're working on yourself. You are already positioned to escape to a higher plane of performance. If you wait until you can get it perfect, you will never get it at all. The time to start is now. U squared can only occur in the present. You'll discover once you're underway that you know more than you know you know. Look inside for opportunity. Everything else that's needed right now comes from inside you. The opportunity, the timing, the power to perform, these are in you, not in the situation. The formula for U squared, the strategy for making the quantum leap, has been covered here. You have those answers. The answers to questions that remain must come from the voice within. Now you must listen to yourself. Those are the sounds no one else can hear. Your dreams, your desires, the thoughts that burn hottest in your mind, they carry the messages that help you to find your own magnetic north. They point the way towards the breakthrough to U squared. Look inside at what pulls at your consciousness, for there you'll find direction. Everything else is in position, waiting for you. Just do it. Make the quantum leap. There's such a thing as trying too hard. You've got to sing like you don't need the money, love like you'll never get hurt. You've got to dance like nobody's watching. It's got to come from the heart if you want it to work. Come from the heart, sung by Kathy Mattea, unquote. And that's the end of U Squared by Price Pritchett. I really hope you've got something out of this. I would never have read a book out in entirety as I've just done over the last 4 episodes if I didn't think it was valuable. And this one I just thought was too good not to share with you. I do, however, urge you to go and buy yourself a copy of the book. I have put a link in the show notes where you can buy it through my link, which is an affiliate link if you fancy using that. But you can get it on eBay for a little bit less if you prefer to go that direction. Yeah, it's a fantastic book. I've loved reading it again and getting into it. Hopefully I've done it justice. I would like to reiterate the main points in it again, though. So I'm going to do that. I'm just going to go through all of the chapters. I've got like a little kind of phrase at the end of them that kind of sums them up. So I'm just going to go through those for you. Just as a reminder, I'm also going to leave a little gap in between each one so you can think about it, because there's some quite big ideas here. First up is, you don't have to be content with improving things incrementally or gradually. Next, to put it simply, as human beings, we're going to have to reframe our ideas about the universe and how we fit into it. U squared implies explosive jump in your personal performance that puts you far beyond the next logical step. If you want to accelerate your rate of achievement rapidly, you must search out and vigorously employ new behaviours. More of the same usually just gives you more of the same. Ricochet. If you're trying to climb over the wall, open a door and walk through. If you're pushing against the river, try going with the flow. A 10 or 20% improvement isn't the idea at all. That would represent only incremental gains. If you must doubt something, doubt your limits. The key is not to get in the way. Just as real, though out of sight, are invisible resources ready to make a profound difference in what you can achieve. The biggest obstacle to overcoming the odds is never challenging them. Most people confuse wishing and wanting with pursuing. You must place your trust in action. Failure is a resource. It helps you find the edge of your capacities. And another quote which I love from this same chapter is, "Problems belong in the process." That's one I've talked about in an earlier episode. Really important stuff. Next up, uneasiness is a predictable psychological reaction when a quantum leap is underway. If you look at those particular skills you have developed over the years, the talents you have exhibited, you will find they are the gifts you opened and enjoyed. There must be something worth caring about, something remarkable, special, and precious enough to light the fire in your heart. You'll discover, once underway, that you know more than you know you know. And finally, just do it. Make the quantum leap. Thank you once again for spending your valuable time with me here today. I really do appreciate it. I hope you've got something serious out of these 4 episodes. In next week's show, I'm going to be covering, oh God, what is it? I've changed it. I think I'm going to be looking at anxiety. I've not even got it on the board. What happened is I lost my notes for what I was going to do. Wrote a completely new episode, then found the notes, and I've decided that the new episode that I wrote is better than the last one. So next week's episode is going to be called The Anxiety Antidote, Reclaiming Freelancer Sanity. I had to record that like 4 times there. It's like a tongue twister. Episode 161, The Anxiety Antidote, Reclaiming Freelancer Sanity. And yeah, thanks for joining me again here today. If you don't mind subscribing to the show, if you've not done so already, I'd really appreciate it. Also, if you've got time, and this is so important, folks, please share anything I'm putting out there on social media. And if you've just got a few minutes, jump on to Apple Podcasts or any other podcasting app where you can leave a review and do that for me. A positive review on these sites really helps me to lift the audience numbers, and I'm really, really working hard to get these numbers up. But I'm going to end there for today, not with a quote, or as a bit of a quote. I'm going to reread you the story that I told right at the start, a true story by Price Pritchett, because I feel that this sets everything up for what I've been talking about over these 4 episodes. So I'm going to reiterate that story, and I'll catch you on next week's show. I'm sitting in a quiet room at the Millcroft Inn, a peaceful little place hidden behind the pine trees about an hour out of Toronto. It's just past noon, late July, and I'm listening to the desperate sounds of a life or death struggle going on a few feet away. There's a small fly burning out the last of its short life's energies in a futile attempt to fly through the glass of a window pane. The whining wings tell the poignant story of the fly's strategy. Try harder. But it's not working. The frenzied effort offers no hope for survival. Ironically, the struggle is a part of the trap. It's impossible for the fly to try hard enough to succeed at breaking through the glass. Nevertheless, this little insect has staked its life on reaching its goal through raw effort and determination. This fly is doomed to die. It will die there on the windowsill. Across the room, 10 steps away, the door is open. 10 seconds of flying time, and this small creature could reach the outside world that it seeks. With only a fraction of the effort now being wasted, it could be free of this self-imposed trap. The breakthrough possibility is there. It would be so easy. Why doesn't the fly try another approach, something dramatically different? How did it get so locked in on the idea that this particular route and determined effort offers the most promise for success? What logic is there in continuing until death to seek a breakthrough with more of the same? No doubt this approach makes sense to the fly. Regrettably, it's an idea that will kill. Trying harder isn't necessarily the solution to achieving more. It may not offer any real promise for getting what you want out of life. Sometimes, in fact, it's a big part of the problem. If you stake your hopes for a breakthrough on trying harder than ever, you may kill your chances for success. Now take control of your own destiny. Keep on shooting, and join me next time on Film Pro Productivity and Success. The music that you're listening to right now is Adventures by Ehumitsu, and this season's executive producer is Janet L. Butler from Disruptive Film and Audio Productions Limited. Thank you, Janet, for jumping on board with this one. You can follow my personal accounts on Twitter and Instagram at fight_director, or follow the show directly on Twitter at FilmProPodPod or on Facebook at FilmProProductivity. Please do continue to support the show by subscribing, spreading the word, and leaving an awesome review.